Y vamos. Hombre, el Flight Simulator nuevo es el nuevo Crisis de trozas gráficas. Ya empieza el evento, voy a quitar la música. Exclusiva mundial.
Welcome to my kitchen. I hope all of you are staying safe. We're going to talk about an amazing GPU today. Modern GPUs are technology marvels. It is the engine of large industries from design, cloud AI to scientific computing. But it is the gamers and their insatiable demand that is the driving force of the GPU. Pulling their GPUs to create the largest distributed computer ever. 1 million gamers united to counterstrike the COVID-19 coronavirus. The result was 2.8 exaflops, 5 times the processing power of the world's largest supercomputer to simulate the virus. Folding at Home was able to simulate 100 milliseconds, a tenth of a second in the life of the coronavirus, and capture the moment it opens its mouth to infect a human cell. Scientists believe this is also its moment of weakness. Thank you all for joining this historic fight. We're going to talk about computer graphics and the work we're doing to push the boundaries. We love computer graphics and have advanced it incredibly in the time of Nvidia. As the technology advanced, the expressiveness of the medium has made graphics an invaluable tool to help us understand our world, create and explore new worlds, tell stories that inspire us. From science to industry to the arts, computer graphics has made a profound impact on the world, and for that, we are privileged to have contributed. We're going to talk about gaming and the infinite ways that gaming is expanding. GeForce PC gaming is large and thriving. Its open and rapidly advancing technology, combined with the amazing creativity of the community, makes magic. Anyone could be a broadcaster now. Add a GeForce and you have a personal broadcast station. Pros stream their practices. Experts stream tips and tricks. Friends stream to friends just to hang out. There are over 20 million streamers. Games have become a new art medium. In Minecraft, gamers can build their work of art. Machinima artists create cinematics made from game assets. Tens of millions are using games to express their creativity. Inside a computer simulation, any sport can become esport. Virtual NASCAR and F1 are already attracting top racers. Like sports, esports captures the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, and the human drama of athletic competition. Esports is on its way to be the biggest sport. I have something special for all the GeForce gamers around the world. 4 gifts. I hope you like them and you'll find new ways to game. First, big news. Fortnite is turning RTX on. Now Minecraft and Fortnite, the #1 and #2 most played games in the world, have RTX on. Fortnite will get ray trace shadows, reflections, ambient occlusion, and DLSS 2. These effects look fantastic with the art style of Fortnite. I can't wait to see a Fortnite concert with RTX on. The last one with Travis Scott was watched by 28 million people. Epic made a trailer for you. Let's play it now.
Let's go! Let's go!
Bueno, estamos en un momento Fortnite. Y básicamente lo que he dicho poco nos importa del Holding Home, con las tarjetas gráficas para ayudar con buscar una cura para el
75% of
coronavirus.
GeForce gamers play
Y me callo.
esports. Esports is a game of milliseconds. Reaction time is a combination of the gamer and the machine. Let me explain. This is Valorant. In this example, the opponent is traveling at 1500 pixels per second, and it's visible in this opening for only 180 milliseconds. A typical gamer has a reaction time of 150 milliseconds from photon to action. You can only hit this opponent if your PC adds less than 30 milliseconds. Most gamers have latencies far greater than 30 milliseconds, many up to 100 milliseconds. Today we're announcing a new esports technology called Nvidia Reflex. Nvidia Reflex optimizes the rendering pipeline across CPU and GPU to reduce latency by up to 50%. In September, we're releasing Reflex with our game-ready driver. Over 100 million GeForce gamers will instantly become more competitive. Valorant, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, and Destiny 2 will be the first to integrate Reflex technology. Esports pros and enthusiasts strive for zero latency. For you, we're announcing an insanely fast and beautiful display. A 360Hz G-Sync display designed for esports. This display has a built-in precision latency analyzer. Just connect your mouse. The Nvidia 360Hz G-Sync esports displays are arriving this fall from Acer, Alienware, Asus, and MSI. We've made a video comparing gaming on a 60Hz, 144Hz, and 360Hz display. You can see immediately how 360Hz display will help you target and track an opponent. For the 20 million live streamers, we have something really cool for you. NVIDIA Broadcast turns any room into a broadcast studio. NVIDIA Broadcast runs AI algorithms trained by deep learning on NVIDIA's DGX supercomputer, one of the most powerful in the world. Effects like audio noise removal, virtual background effects whether graphics or video, and webcam auto-framing is a virtual camera person tracking you. These AI effects are amazing. Available for download in September and runs on any RTX GPU. Brandon and GeForce Marketing will now show you NVIDIA Broadcast.
Hey everybody, I'm Brandon and I'm very excited today to talk to you about our NVIDIA Broadcast app. Like many of you, I've been
Hola a
home a lot
todos, soy
lately.
Borja
Been
y os
video
voy a quitar este
conferencing all day
pesado.
and then gaming and streaming all night.
Básicamente ahora
And I
nos
have a
acaban de
very
vender la
basic
necesidad de
webcam
los monitores
microphone
de
setup.
360
NVIDIA Broadcast makes these
hercios
things
para los,
supercharged with a lot of new
para los
awesome
usuarios más
features
exigentes, para
that
los que
really
solo
bring it out
juegan
using the
a
power
juegos de
of AI and
competición.
RTX GPUs.
Y con los
The first one I
360
want to talk about is
hercios,
noise
en
removal.
teoría,
So
deberías
I've
matar
asked my
más.
girlfriend to join me with a blow
Si no
dryer
matas
here.
jamás, es culpa tuya.
And that distracting sound makes it very hard to understand what I'm saying. But when I turn on noise removal in NVIDIA Broadcast, you find that it's completely gone. And that blow dryer is still going. But NVIDIA Broadcast isn't just awesome audio features. There's some really exciting video features as well. Let's take a look. First up, we have the ability to blur your background, which you may notice that I need because I have a very cluttered and messy room. But when I turn this background blur feature on, all of a sudden I get this really classy.
Vamos, estoy haciendo pruebas con el nivel de audio. Y básicamente aquí nos está comentando la tecnología que vimos hace ya un buen par de semanas sobre una gráfica que hace falta RTX y nos permitiría silenciar cualquier sonido ambiente. Está pensado para los streamers y por si tienes una madre que te grita o tu novia está dando por culo también. Así que vamos. Y voy a reducir un poquito más el volumen por si acaso. Así que estoy haciendo ajustes de volumen sobre la marcha. Y así ya se para después. Vamos, que por ahora están centrándose en nichos de mercado. El primer nicho fue el de los jugadores de competitivo que necesitan un monitor Full HD de 360 Hz. Y ahora están hablando de los creadores de contenido, porque obviamente no quieres una tarjeta gráfica solo para jugar, sino también que te aporte ventajas a la hora de grabar contenido, que te facilite todo. No te hace falta una pantalla verde, te ahorra tiempos de edición, vamos, facilidades para los streamers, para que también los streamers vean un incentivo adicional del rendimiento a comprarte una gráfica de Nvidia.
Called machinima. Artists are using game assets to create cinematics. There's been tens of billions of views on YouTube. Most are shorts. Some are even recreating entire classic movies. It's becoming a whole new art genre. Today, I'm going to show you an app that will make these cinematics amazing. It's called NVIDIA Omniverse Machinima. It's an app built on our Omniverse 3D workflow collaboration platform. Omniverse is a universal design tool asset exchange with a viewer based on photorealistic path tracing.
Vale, esto tampoco nos interesa mucho. Enfocado al mundo del cine, los ray tracing también ahorra muchísimo tiempo de trabajo a los profesionales. Pero vamos, Vicente Manuel, qué pérdida de tiempo. En principio el evento va a durar poco más de 1 hora. Así que por ahora están hablando de nichos. Primero fue el nicho de los usuarios competitivos, luego de los streamers, de creadores de contenido, y ahora nos estamos centrando en el mundo de las películas. Así que todavía queda 1 hora de evento, 1 hora y poco a lo mejor. Así que lo bueno se hará esperar. Así que os subo el volumen y seguimos viendo a ver qué hay.
Omniverse Machinima. Beta in October. Sign up at nvidia.com/machinima. Let me show you a demo we created in a few days. We started with assets from Mountain Blade 2, Bannerlord. You're gonna love this.
Guys are getting better.
For 40 years, since NVIDIA researcher Turner Whitted first published his paper on ray tracing, computer science researchers have chased this dream to create super realistic virtual worlds with real-time ray tracing. NVIDIA, seeing the ultimate limits of rasterization approaching, focused intense efforts over the past 10 years to realize real-time ray tracing on a large scale. At SIGGRAPH 2 years ago, we announced the Nvidia RTX. Now 2 years later, it is clear we have reinvented computer graphics. Nvidia RTX is a full-stack invention. RTX starts with a brand new GPU architecture, but it is so much more. It includes new engine tech and a bunch of new rendering algorithms. RTX is a home run. All major 3D APIs have been extended for RTX. RTX is supported by all major 3D tools. RTX tech is incorporated into all major game engines. There are hundreds of games in development and thousands of research papers of new rendering and AI algorithms enabled by RTX. The RTX GPU has 3 fundamental processors: the programmable shader that we first introduced over 15 years ago, RT Core to accelerate the ray triangle and ray bounding box intersections, an AI processing pipeline called Tensor Core. Tensor Core accelerates linear algebra that is used for deep neural network processing, the foundation of modern AI. AI is the most powerful technology force of our time. Computers that learn from data and write software that no humans can. The advances are nothing short of breathtaking. NVIDIA is doing groundbreaking work in this area. You might have seen our work in self-driving cars and robotics. Computer graphics and gaming will also be revolutionized by deep learning. Let me show you some recent works and the art of the possible. The first video is a generative adversarial network that has learned to synthesize virtual characters of any artistic genre, including photorealistic. Second is a neural network that animates a 3D face directly from voice.
You require more Vespine gas. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
The AI character can speak in any language, be any gender, and even rap and sing. Third is a character locomotion of infinite number of positions. Imagine negotiating arbitrary paths and obstacles. The fourth is reconstructing 3D from video. Imagine the possibilities. Record video, interact in 3D. This one is a deep learning model that learned the physics behavior of cloth animation. Finally, this deep learning model of ray tracing can predict colors of missing pixels, so that fewer rays need to be cast and fewer pixels need to be fully rendered. We can achieve orders of magnitude speedups. AI is certain to play a giant role in the future of computer graphics and gaming. The powerful Tensor Cores and RTX GPUs will let us do AI in real time. One of the first major AI computer graphics breakthroughs is DLSS. Here's the challenge. Real-time ray tracing is far more beautiful but requires a lot more computation per pixel than rasterization. So the solution is to ray trace fewer pixels and use AI on tensor cores to up-res to super-res to a higher resolution and boost frame rate. DLSS took nearly 2 years of intensive research. We built a supercomputer to train a network. The DLSS model is trained on extremely high quality, 16K, offline rendered images of many kinds of content. Once trained, the model is downloaded into your driver. At runtime, DLSS 2.0 takes in low resolution, aliased image and motion vector of the current frame and the high resolution previous frame to generate a high resolution current frame. I think DLSS is one of our biggest breakthroughs in the last 10 years. Take a look at these images of Death Stranding, the latest game by Kojima-san.
Vale, básicamente esto es lo que se ha convertido en el DLS 2.0, el que tenemos en la actualidad, donde, vamos, nace como la necesidad de mejorar el rendimiento de los juegos debido a que, vamos, cada vez son más avanzados y al añadir el ray tracing, las tarjetas gráficas ya no dan más de sí. Es por eso que sale esta tecnología y ahora sale Ampere, que en teoría va a multiplicar por 3 en rendimiento, por 4 de ray tracing. Todo lo que hemos visto detrás también ya estaba implementado. Voy a bajar un poco el volumen más por si acaso. Así que vamos, que básicamente nos están haciendo un resumen de lo que han ofrecido hasta ahora. Y entiendo que ahora nos ofrecerá una actualización de lo que mejorará en base a la nueva arquitectura. Y vamos, poco más que hablar.
The RT core is effectively a 34 teraflop shader.
Ah, por cierto, de los precios. No sé si se habrá filtrado ya algo en lo que he estado aquí, pero la 3090 debería rondar los 1.800 euros. Se dice 1.800. Así que, vamos, pensad en 1.800, 2.000 euros y ya veremos.
Previous generations. This is where the tensor core and DLSS come in. Rendering to a lower resolution, then using AI and super fast tensor core to effectively double frame rate. Now you can get ray tracing, get high resolution, and high frame rate at the same time. That's the magic of the 3 processors of RTX. Turing was our first generation RTX GPU, combining ray tracing, programmable shading, and AI. The flagship Turing had a ton of processing power, 11 shader teraflops, 34 RT teraflops, and 89 tensor teraflops. Let me show you our new RTX GPU. Ampere is a giant leap in performance.
Aquí en teoría viene
Ampere
lo bueno.
does 2 shader calculations per clock versus 1 on Turing, 30 shader teraflops compared to 11. Ampere doubles ray triangle intersection throughput. Ampere's RT core delivers 58 RT teraflops compared to Turing's 34. And Ampere's new tensor core automatically identifies and removes less important DNN weights. And the new tensor core hardware processes the sparse network at twice the rate of Turing.
Vale, tendremos una mejora de hasta un 270%, pero vamos, se hablaba de una mejora total de un 300%. Me callo.
Our second generation RTX, 28 billion transistors built on Samsung 8N Nvidia custom process. All 3 processors double rates over Turing, a triple double. It connects to Micron's new G6X, the fastest memories ever made. The days of just relying on transistor performance scaling is over. Yet Ampere is an incredible 2 times the performance and energy efficiency of Turing. At Nvidia, we use every engineering lever
Tal y como
to
adelantó
squeeze every
Asus, un 90% de rendimiento extra por vatio consumido.
architecture, custom process design, circuit design, logic design, packaging, custom SerDes I/O, memory, power and thermal design, PCB design, software and algorithms. Thousands of engineers per generation, billions of dollars. Full stack engineering and extreme craftsmanship is the hallmark of our GPUs. Our performance, energy efficiency, and low power are all world class. And real application performance highlights Ampere's new RT core. The more ray tracing is done, the greater the Ampere speedup. Ampere RT core doubles.
Vale, aquí vemos duplicar el rendimiento en benchmarks, en juegos. Estaríamos en un, vamos, 80%.
Take a look at Ampere in action. At our kitchen GTC a few months ago, we showed Marbles, the world's first fully path-traced photorealistic real-time graphics. It was running on our highest-end Turing Quadro RTX 8000. Turing was doing 720p, 25 frames per second. Today, we're going to run an enhanced version of Marbles with even more special effects, and it is running at 1440p, 30 frames per second, over 4 times the performance. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy Marbles at night. Marbles is entirely path traced. No rasterization, all real time. There are hundreds of area lights, including spherical area lights. There's no pre-baking, everything is dynamic. The depth of field is film quality and beautiful. Everything is dynamic. Diffuse GI, all dynamic. There are hundreds of rigid bodies, 80 million triangles. Materials are physically accurate, physics simulation and volumetric rendering in real time. DLSS 2.0 is doing the super resolution and AI denoising. Let's compare Marbles Turing and Marbles Ampere. You can see dramatic visual quality.
Básicamente lo que hemos visto es una demo de un juego, vamos, con físicas y ray tracing en tiempo real y con su super resolución.
More than 4 times the performance. And Ampere even did area lights and depth of field. A giant performance leap. Today's games are giant worlds, indoor and out, with photogrammetry, dense geometry, and lots of characters. Games are over 200 gigabytes and getting bigger. This is like 50,000 songs or 400 hours of streaming video. Games have pushed PC I/O and file systems to the breaking point. CPUs copy files from disk and decompress the game image. This is fine when the storage system was slow, 50 to 100 megabytes per second. Now with Gen 4 PCI Express and solid-state drives, PCs can transfer data at 7 gigabytes per second, 100 times faster. CPU copying data to memory and decompressing game images is now the bottleneck. Decompressing data from 100 megabytes per second hard drives takes only a few CPU cores. However, decompressing from 7 gigabytes per second SSDs on PCIe Gen 4 takes over 20 CPU cores. Today, we're announcing Nvidia RTX I/O with 3 new advances. New I/O APIs for fast loading and streaming directly from SSD to GPU memory. GPU lossless decompression. And collaboration with Microsoft on direct storage for Windows that streamlines the transfer of data from storage to GPU memory. With Nvidia RTX I/O, vast worlds will load instantly. Picking up where you left off will be instant. This is a very big deal for next generation gaming. Let me show you Ampere in action in one of the most anticipated games of 2020, CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk. This trailer is called Scenes of Cyberpunk RTX. It shows ray trace reflections.
Vamos a ver el rendimiento de estas nuevas ray tracing con Cyberpunk.
DLSS 2.0. Enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, our new flagship GPU, the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080, powered by Ampere, second generation RTX architecture. The Nvidia RTX 3080. I have one right here. Let me show it to you. It is beautiful. Look at this.
Vale, no es tan grande como se
The
pensaba.
RTX 3080. It is wonderfully crafted. It's going to look beautiful in your PC, and it lights up. Now let me tell you about some of the other exciting technologies inside. Turing used G6, the fastest memories at that time. The industry thought that was the limit. For Ampere, we had to push through that limit. Working with Micron, we designed the world's first memories with PAM4 signaling, pulse amplitude modulation, with 4 voltage levels that encode 2 bits of data each, 0001, 1011. Each voltage step is only 250 millivolts. So in the same period of time, G6X can transmit twice as much data as G6. PAM4 is extreme signaling technology and is just becoming used in high-speed networking. The Ampere thermal architecture is the first ever flow-through design, working harmoniously with PC chassis cooling system, pulling in cool air from the outside, flowing through the GPU, and pushing hot air straight out the chassis. To allow room for a fan to flow air directly through the module, our engineers architect a super dense PCB design that is 50% smaller than previous, while adding the bigger Ampere GPUs, HDMI 2.1, PCI Express 4.0, and G6X. There are 2 independently controlled fans. The bracket front fan pulls cool air from the bottom and pushes the heated air out through the graphics card brackets. A backside pull-through fan passes cool air over the fins of the heat pipe and directs the hot air to the top and back of the chassis to be exhausted by the system fan. The 3080 flow-through system is 3 times quieter and keeps the GPU 20 degrees cooler than the Turing design. It can cool 90 watts more than Turing.
Un inciso. ¿Y la 3090 vendrá después o qué pasará?
A significant technology advance is needed to inspire content developers to create the next level of content and for the install base to upgrade. Let's see how the 3080 stacks up to previous generation architectures on the latest graphics-intensive games.
Gráfica de precio.
3080 is faster than 2080 Ti.
700
3080
dólares.
is twice the performance of 2080 at the same price. Ampere is the biggest generational leap we've ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080, our new flagship GPU, powered by Ampere, our second generation RTX GPU architecture. Incredible amounts of processing in the shader, RT ray tracing core, and
Ojo, se ha referido a ella como la GPU tope de gama, ¿eh? Así que no sé yo si hay 3090 o qué.
and at the same price, starting at $699. Available September 17th. One of our most popular
$699.
GPUs is the 70 series.
Eso en euros
970,
habrá que
1070,
verlo.
2070,
Unos
were all
900.
hugely popular. You're going to love the new RTX 3070. Faster than the 2080 Ti, the Turing enthusiast GPU
3070 me
priced
voy a
at
quedar 2080
$1,200.
Ti y a un precio de
Ladies and gentlemen,
599.
the new GeForce RTX 3070. Let me show it to you.
Venga, a por la hermana pequeña.
It's a work of art. 20 shader teraflops, 40 RT teraflops, and 163 teraflops tensor core for AI processing. With 8 gigabytes of G6, RTX 3070 is faster than the $1,200 RTX 2080 Ti, starting at $499.
$499, unos 700 euros. El que quería vender la 2080 Ti, te acaban de joder la vida. Tendrías que haberla vendido antes.
Every couple of generations, the stars align, as it did with Pascal, and we get a giant generational leap. Pascal was known as the perfect 10. Pascal was a huge success and set a very high bar. It took the super family of Turing to meaningfully exceed Pascal on game performances without ray tracing. With ray tracing turned on, Pascal, using programmable shaders to compute ray triangle intersections, fell far behind Turing's RT core. And Turing with ray tracing on reached the same performance as Pascal with ray tracing off. On a technical basis, this was a huge achievement. The images are far more beautiful, and reflection and shadow artifacts are gone. But gamers wanted more. They want every generation to be more realistic and higher frame rate at the same time. So we doubled down on everything. Twice the shader, twice the ray tracing, and twice the tensor core. The triple double. Ampere knocks the daylights out of Pascal on ray tracing. And even with ray tracing on, crushes Pascal on frame rate. To all my Pascal gamer friends, it is safe to upgrade now. Amazing ray tracing games are coming.
Hombre, en esa comparativa nos ha mostrado a la serie 2000. Así que habría que ver.
It looks incredible. There are dynamic lights, ray tracing, shadows and ambient occlusion, DLSS 2.0, and Nvidia Reflex super low latency technology. The last Call of Duty sold an amazing 30 million copies. Activision put together this trailer of never before seen footage. Enjoy.
Exclusivo mundial.
Let me talk to you about one more thing. Several years ago, we started building the Titan, pushing the GPU to the absolute limit to create the best graphics card of that generation. It was built in limited quantities only through Nvidia. The distribution was limited. The demand surprised us. Creatives were making 4K movies, rendering cinematics. Researchers built workstations for data science and AI. Bloggers built broadcast workstations. Flight and racing simulation fans built sim rigs. There is clearly a need for a giant GPU that is available all over the world. So we made a giant Ampere. Ladies and gentlemen, the RTX 3090. Come here.
Esta sí que es grande, su puta madre.
Alrighty. 3090 is a beast, a ferocious GPU, a BF GPU, 36 shader teraflops, 69 RT teraflops, 285 tensor teraflops, and it comes with a massive 24 gigabytes of G6X. It comes with a
$1.500. Vamos, lo que se rumora, el puto audio de fondo. Unos 1.800 euros al cambio.
Design. But there's more. The 3090 is so big that for the very first time, we can play games at 60 frames per second in 8K. This is insane. Because it's impossible for us to show you what it looks like on the stream, we invited some friends to check it out. Roll the clip.
Hi. This is Andy and this is Tim. Woo!
I've never been more excited to do anything.
No conozco a nadie, no sé si alegrarme o soy mala persona.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
No way. This is f***ing incredible, dude.
This is amazing.
Holy.
The resolution on this is silly. My god. You can see wear and tear on the treads.
Look at this.
Why is it so detailed? All right. Move fast and shoot things.
This is 8K, sir. I can see everything. Oh, I need to shoot you, though.
Not a whole lot of people have seen something like this.
This is so realistic. I feel like I'm really in battle.
This is insane. Die, I want to look at the pretty things. There we go. Dude, the ray tracing is insane on this.
These are the sizzle reels that you see.
This is basically hacks.
And then
En teoría estaríamos viendo jugar a 8K a 60 frames con el ray tracing activo. Así que estamos ante una bestia para el precio que tiene.
Experience. Oh, it is so smooth. It's butter.
oh, it's smooth as shit, dude.
I can't believe it's not butter.
I mean, this is game changing. There's no other way to put it. My mind is blown, dude.
Wow.
It's been 20 years since the Nvidia GPU introduced programmable shading. The GPU revolutionized modern computer graphics. Developers jumped on and invented clever algorithms, like shaders that simulate realistic materials, or post-processing effects for soft shadows, ambient occlusion, and reflections. Developers pushed the limits of rasterization beyond anyone's expectations. Meanwhile, Nvidia GPU processing increased a stunning 100,000-fold. Gaming became a powerful technology driver. Gamers grew to billions, and gaming pushed into all aspects of entertainment and culture. If the last 20 years was amazing, the next 20 will seem nothing short of science fiction. Today's Ampere launch is a giant step into the future. This is our greatest generational leap ever. The second generation Nvidia RTX, fusing programmable shading, ray tracing, and artificial intelligence, gives us photorealistic graphics and the highest frame rates at the same time. Once the holy grail of computer graphics, ray tracing is now the standard. And Ampere is going to bring you joy beyond gaming. NVIDIA Reflex to improve your response time. NVIDIA Broadcast turns any room into a studio. And Omniverse Machinima turns you into an animated filmmaker. We are super pleased with 3070, 3080, and 3090, the first three members of the Ampere generation. You're going to feel a boost like never before. I can't wait to go forward 20 years to see what RTX started. Homes will have holodecks. We will beam ourselves through time and space, traveling at the speed of light, sending photons, not atoms. In this future, GeForce is your holodeck, your lightspeed starship, your time machine. In this future, we will look back and realize that it started here. Thank you for joining us today, and to all of our fans for celebrating the arrival of Ampere.
Bueno, pues parece que se acabó lo que se daba. Lo primero que voy a decir es que Big Navy nace muerta. Visto lo visto y vistas las filtraciones que hay de AMD hasta la fecha, vamos, es imposible que pueda competir al menos con la 3090. La 3070 al final puede que sea la mejor opción de precio-rendimiento. Si te rinde como una 2080 Ti y te vale mucho más barata, pues ¿para qué coño te vas a comprar algo de la competencia? Vamos, más, cal que agua. Pues nada, ahora al chapuzoinformático.com Vamos a poner las notas de prensa y vamos a ver si Nvidia nos ofrece ya al menos los precios en euros. No lo sé, no lo creo. Pero viendo las conversiones que han pasado en el pasado con la gama 2000, pues se puede deducir los precios para la serie 3000. En un principio los rumores indicaban que la 3090 rondaría los 1.400-1.500 dólares, que el cambio iban a ser unos 1.800 euros. Así que 1.800 euros la 3090, aunque estamos hablando de unos precios muy altos, eso es lo que cobrará, bueno, muy poca gente, básicamente la media cobrará 1.000 y poco euros, pero comparado con la RTX Titan, la Titan RTX, perdón, es mucho más barata, es muchísimo más barata, serían unos 600, 700 euros más barata y rindiendo muchísimo más. Así que al final, vamos, que el consumo es elevadísimo porque estamos ante una gráfica para jugar a 8K 60 frames con Ray Tracing, otra gráfica para jugar a 8K 60 sobradísimo, y luego la más básica que se ha anunciado hoy, la 3070, es como la 2080 Ti, o sea, la tope de gama que hay actualmente ahora mismo. Pero costando, ¿qué era? 499 dólares. 499 dólares se puede traducir aquí en 600 largos, 700. Es que depende también del modelo Founder, si va a haber Founder o no. Bueno, sí, lo han enseñado, coño, hay Founder. Pues dependerá ya luego de si quieres pagar de más por un modelo custom. ¿Qué pasó con la serie 2000? Que con la serie 2000 Nvidia mejoró notablemente el sistema de refrigeración, que era uno de los principales problemas que tenían las anteriores. Al final las Nvidia son más baratas, te van a ofrecer un mejor sistema de refrigeración y sonoridad, con lo cual cada vez están rentando menos los modelos custom. Salvo que quieras un overclock tocho o que haya algún problema de temperatura que pueda solucionar los ensambladores. Y al final los modelos custom terminan bajando de precio mucho más rápido que la Founder. ¿Por qué? Porque la Founder se entiende que es como un diseño exclusivo, que tú estás pagando la exclusividad de tener un diseño hecho por Nvidia. Cuando las custom ¿cuántos tienes? ¿30, 40 fabricantes con modelos custom? Pues ahí ya tú estás pagando no solo el diseño o la refrigeración, sino que estás pagando el nombre de la marca. Y obviamente, por ejemplo, en Nvidia tenemos a Asus y MSI que estás pagando el nombre, que son mucho más caras que las rivales, pero al final estás pagando el nombre y la calidad que conlleva, entre comillas calidad. Ya hemos visto que algunos han tenido problemas con la serie 2000. Y luego si quieres productos baratos, pues a lo mejor suelen ser las Zotac, las PNI. Vamos, que cada uno con su dinero hace lo que quiere, pero vamos, que son caras, todas las gráficas son caras, pero comparado con la anterior generación, la verdad es que, vamos, que si quieres actualizar de tarjeta gráfica, tampoco debes esperar mucho de AMD, porque visto, lo va a tener complicado. Y también esta bajada de precio no solo se debe a AMD, porque básicamente AMD no va a ser competencia. Hay que recordar que estas bajadas de precio están ligadas a los precios de las consolas. Y es que una Xbox Series X que te pueda costar 599 euros, solo un SSD del nivel de esa consola ya te acarrearía un gasto de 300 euros. Y si hablamos de la PlayStation 5, vamos, apaga la luz y vámonos. Pues señores y señoras, que este ha sido mi primer streaming, espero que haya salido más o menos bien. Y no sé, que he empezado como un flan con 20 personitas conectadas online, cuando en la página web estoy acostumbrado a hablar para 4 millones y medio de personas al mes. Y aquí con 20 personas ya ha estado como un flan. Pero vamos, que me he encontrado muy a gusto. La verdad es que me habéis facilitado todo, toda la gente de YouTube, toda la gente de Discus, los usuarios del Chapuza y los nuevos que no nos conocían o nos conocían ya. Vamos, que no habéis enseñado conmigo y vamos, que he estado ajustando un poquito los volúmenes en directo y demás y parece que todo ha salido bien. Así que nada, muchísimas gracias una vez más a todos ustedes. Y si mañana hay evento de Intel, pues creo que me animaré y vamos a comentar el evento en directo. Y como va a ser menos técnico y ya sabemos prácticamente todo lo que hay, podemos ir comentando un poquito por encima, comparando con AMD y cualquier cosilla que haya. Así que gente, yo termino por aquí, pero corriendo me voy a la página web. Así que ya sabéis, www.chapuzainformático.com. Y como dicen por aquí, dale al like, suscríbete y no sé qué más. Y si no te quieres dar al like ni suscribirte, deja un comentario y dime por qué. Nada, me da igual. Señores, muchísimas gracias por todo y nos vemos en la página web.